everybody, and welcome to Queued Up. I'm back. We're talking today the Blast Austin Major that happened for Counter-Strike. We're going to talk some Valorant as well that happened in Toronto. And it's been an exciting weekend of esports action, and we're going to cover all those things here today on Queued Up. But we get to watch 9-10 with the ace against Vitality in Map 1 on Mirage. And we're going to do all those things here today where the lobby's open, the mics are hot, and nobody is dodging. With me here today, Nick Thug Nasty Lavid, Davis Tad Tadlock, and Chris Partyfoul Celestia. And I'm your host, CJ Pathfinder Collins. It's great to see you guys. I missed everybody, and you guys have been having too much fun without me, and I don't like that. You can't. It's way too much fun had, okay? But
look at these new graphics.
I know, the graphics are new. Everything's exciting. It's amazing.
I thought that was just my dandruff, but that's just I guess.
I'm going to get you shampoo for Christmas gift now.
Appreciate
Cool. Well, we're going to jump right into it. Talking Counter-Strike. As you saw, the Mongols tried to show up against Vitality, but they were not able to do it. But we're not even starting there. We're starting in this quarterfinal round that happened throughout the weekend. Spirit and Mouse, Vitality, Na'Vi, FaZe, Mongols, and Furia and Pain. By the way, that Furia-Pain matchup, oh my gosh, it was so close.
Insane.
I was screaming because my pick'ems was Pain as well, so I was very excited about that one. But give me your thoughts. Let's go through the matchups. Obviously, we started with Spirit and Mouse. Nick, what'd you think of this one, man?
This one gave me everything I expected it to. It was as close as you could ask for, and unfortunately, yes, I said unfortunately, Mouse came out on top here. Ended the dunk run, but it was a great match. The you would say Ninja diffused, but he knew he was diffusing that entire time. Great match, great clip. It was a great time.
Yeah, go ahead, Davis.
Well, I think this was honestly probably one of my favorite matches of the whole weekend. I mean, it was the first match of the playoffs, but it set the tone completely perfect for the whole stage of playoffs. This Mirage map was like literally as close as you could get, and both teams in this match were actually playing tremendous. It just stinks that only one could advance, but tremendous game.
We saw a lot of great Mirage matches this weekend. It was really exciting to be able to, I think, see the play on Mirage as so equal among teams, where like nobody has it as their best match. Everyone just knows they can compete on it.
Yeah. I was kind of sad though. So this kind of solidifies for me that Dunk needs help. He was the only real one coming out positive on his team. And they are going up against great teams such as Mouse. You know, we had a lot coming out, Jimfat and Torzy. But Dunk does need help. We'll have to see what help he can get because I think they can take him out. But right there, he does it all by himself. And he needs to figure out what they can do. But Pain versus Furia, as you're talking about, I was looking into this and I saw that there was some mentor-mentee going against each other. And I think that's great, but it's actually, there it is, Obi-Wan, the master, is being taken down and the new blood is rising.
Yeah. I think it was tremendous for Pain. I just want to talk for a second. I mean, they've been the little brother of Furia for a long time now in Brazil Counter-Strike, obviously with Fallen being the kind of head guy of Furia and their whole project there. Really cool to see Pain actually, be the big brother for a time and, make it all the way.
In this Vitality versus Na'Vi matchup, if I'm honest, I was looking at it and I was like, I don't even really want to watch this. Vitality's going to win 2-0 and Na'Vi have 0 shot. They did put up a little bit of a fight though, like more of a fight than I thought they would. But this Na'Vi roster has looked not great all season. They've said that if they had a bad showing this season, which is crazy for this event, not the season, but they showed up more than they have at other events. I mean, they made the playoffs or, made their way to a top 8 team, but was not enough.
Yeah, and for this FaZe Mongols match on the screen here, I touched on it last week, the third time that they were going to see each other. I said FaZe shouldn't have rested easy on them, and they really shouldn't have. It was Mongols all the way from start to finish. Yeah, both games were really close, but this is what started Mongols' run throughout the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, and this Mongols FaZe matchup was so fun to watch. I mean, just watching the Simple on the stage, and I think deep down in our hearts, we all have this like love for Mongols, but it wasn't like, but you also wanted FaZe to win too, and it was crazy to watch the crowd shift from Mongols fans to FaZe fans.
Yeah, especially because we were talking about how at the, was it the Dallas event where they were all chanting for the Mongols in the grand final?
They weren't even there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so just to see the fan switch there, the coolest thing, from my opinion, was when Elige clutched that one round on Anubis and the entire venue just exploded. I think it's so cool to see them backing Elige being the American player and just showing the support for him.
And I will take us. I mean, we're going to talk about it later on the show, so I won't mention it now. But let's jump into the semifinals matches. We're going to play the clip from that one as well. As we saw those 4 teams kind of cruise on, they played each other. And these ones were not as close, in my opinion. I mean, the Mongols made quick work of Pain on this one.
Yeah, I just kind of think that Pain, like I said earlier, I mean, they're kind of a little brother team. I think this is a very big event for them. Gaining confidence and moving forward will be really big for the team. But they were kind of performing out of their comfort zone, in my opinion, or however you would phrase that. And once they meet a team like Mongols, it's just, they had too much for them. And Mongols obviously going to the grand finals, so a serious team in this event.
Well, Mongols look great on Mirage, too. I mean, the same matchup, you're going to watch it later, but Vitality going against them as well. And it was also crazy about that match was the fact that Pain won the first 5 rounds and then lost 11 straight. Wild.
Yeah, but then Mouse, taking map 1, you're like, all right, this might be the time. They might be dethroned finally. You see Apex here, 1-13 at this point in time. What is the guy doing? He's baiting and switching, and he's just being a clown, long story short. But no, they lost this map quite handily, you could tell. But then, again, just like the grand finals, spoilers ahead, but they win the next 2 easy.
They do. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say, Rops and Zywoo just absolutely popped off after, getting plus 21 on Zywoo, Rops plus 13. We've talked about a lot, but I think it comes down also to Mouse just not being able to perform, or them going negative, or not performing in the positive range. You can't do that against a team like Vitality, and it shows here that, they're just not really stepping up to that level just yet to take them down. We've seen them take maps before, but I'm still trying to, see that time when they can have everyone just performing at the same level of each other, because Vitality just seems to do that every single match. They at least have 1 or 2 backup casts to Zywoo, or that can carry him in some sense of the form, as they did in the grand finals itself that we'll talk about later. But that's what's really been giving Vitality the edge.
I think Mouse just has a super mental block against Vitality. I mean, you could see throughout the entire tournament, people were stepping up, popping off, especially Torzy. Torzy was one of the most consistent players through this entire event. And then you arrive in this match against Vitality. The one map that they were able to win on, Inferno, Torzy popped off. But the other 2 maps, he was just kind of non-existent. And so you saw him in the interview after the match very affected by it. I felt really bad for him because I think he's been a tremendous player. And like I said, there's just some type of block in their head that whenever they get on main stage against them, they just can't win it.
It's also weird. So they're so good at Inferno, right? They've won a lot of Inferno all year long. They actually lost 3 matches of Inferno. They lost the Legacy in that best of 1.
Yep.
They lost to Mouse, and they also maybe it was 2.
No, they won the grand finals.
Oh, they did. Yeah. So they won on the grand finals one. But it's interesting that Vitality does have weaknesses on Infernos against specific teams. And I think it's when they go A side. I know I'm getting really analytical inside of it, but
keep going.
Yeah, but it's funny because they say that to win Inferno, you need banana control. But ultimately, it's the teams that are beating Vitality are actually taking a lot more A control than banana control on those maps. So interesting to see. I don't know. Grand finals, let's roll the clip. Let's see the last one. Obviously, Mongols and Vitality facing off in the grand finals. This first map was crazy, Davis.
Yeah, first map was insane. I was actually really, really excited because watching 9-10 play, I mean, obviously the ace is going right here, but 9-10 is the backbone of this Mongols team. And I really thought with the way that he was playing along with Sinzu, I mean, I really thought that this was going to be the time. We've been waiting for a Mongols win all year, and it's going to be at the major. I was like, this is going to be Kepley's absolute dream scenario. I was literally, this is a dream scenario. But obviously, as you see, the match kept going, and they just couldn't have the firepower. Vitality's too good.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you can't open up a second map going down 6 rounds in a row against Vitality. And I think with that, the momentum shifted. They fell behind, and that's when we see Vitality just really take forward. Once they get that momentum, they just really start running, and we see it here. They just really couldn't find a way back in until that round number 7. But even after that, they were just trading rounds back and forth.
Yeah, the Mongols Dust 2 did not look great. That whole map, and I feel like it took all of their momentum out after that crazy Mirage where we saw them have a really good one. And then I kind of felt like towards the end of this map on Inferno, they got some of the win back in their sails, but it just was not enough because they'd gone so far down on a CT side where you kind of have to win your 2v5. If 5 people push you banana, you have to win on B, right? You have to win in apartments. and those mini gunfights, and they just didn't win any of the mini gunfights for those.
And then once you start losing those mini gunfights, your confidence is so gone. Trying to retake against a team like Vitality is just a recipe of disaster.
And look at 9-10. I mean, he started the whole game 0-9, but he's 7-17 right now, and that's the star of that team. He has to perform, and he just wasn't able to.
Yeah, it seems like even for both the semifinals and the grand finals that Vitality just showed up to the series asleep. And then in the next two matches, or the next two maps for both of those series, they woke up and they were a totally different beast. They did not look like the same team from those map ones. And maybe that was the opposition or maybe that was them, but obviously it was them at the end of the day that came out on top with that trophy.
Yeah. It speaks a lot to the character of the team, too, to be able to do that consistently, bounce back from losses. Yeah, bounce back from losses and be able to realize, like, we're the better team, we're going to arrive, and we're going to win these last two.
Okay, I'm going to throw a grenade into this really quickly. I'm going to right-click the grenade.
Oh, gosh.
I'm curious.
I'll walk forward with right click.
Is anybody at a point where you think the Mongols need a roster change? Do you think that that roster doesn't work, or do you think that they just need to stick with it and fight through it?
Of all the teams we've talked about today outside of Vitality, Mongols is the second team that does not need a roster.
That doesn't. Is Vitality number one?
Yeah,
Okay.
Vitality.
yeah. I get it. Just making sure.
Mongols. The way you could say, Furia, Pain, FaZe, Na'Vi, Spirit, all of them needs roster changes. Mongols, Vitality, no, they're fine.
I think they've been playing good, but I just don't know. I think they need more firepower, straight up. I think they're a really good team, but I just don't think they have that star that can really propel them forward like other teams have.
I mean, you said it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I actually think, for one, consistency is key for them. If they can have 9-10 popping off on each map, they'll do a lot better. Maybe he can be that star if he can get that consistency. But I think they need the reps. I think this is one of their first grand finals, correct? And they're going against a team that has been in every single grand finals going forward in 2025. Obviously, Vitality, they know what to do in these situations. Mongols does not. So Mongols has this. They can definitely learn from it. Maybe they can, try to find a way to get a star player within the roster. I would like to see them keep it because I think if they propel with this, then they could become that team that can start getting in consistently into that top 3, 4, 2 even, and fight with the best of them.
Yeah, we're going to get to see, obviously, so what normally happens at the end of this is there's a major, and then there's a little bit of an off period. So we're going to have about a month for these teams to kind of reset. And we're going to talk a lot about roster changes during that reset. And it only takes one big player. A Monacy disappears. I don't think Monacy will actually disappear, but maybe Zywoo gets dropped. Or like one of these big players that ends up, not dropped, but like, you understand?
Zywoo's dropped.
Drop that guy. He's not good enough.
We're going to talk about Monacy getting dropped. Well, not actually Monacy. We'll talk about Zywoo. Not actually.
Somebody's getting dropped, okay? And when that happens, somebody's going to need to pick up another player, and we're going to go through roster mania.
Simple's going back to Na'Vi.
Oh, that would be fun, right? Oh my gosh, this is going to be so great in the next coming weeks where we talk about all these roster changes. If you are watching this right now, what roster changes do you want to see? Put it in the comments below. We want to know about it as we switch gears to another amazing game that has nothing to do with Counter-Strike. It's Valorant.
You are so right.
Valorant Masters Toronto. That happened this weekend. There were some great matches for this event overall. It was an awesome tournament for Valorant. We loved it. Go ahead and roll clips as we have them. I think the first one is... No, we don't have a clip. The first match that we're talking about is G2 versus Fnatic, which is great, but also not great in the fact that NA lost, and that made me sad. I don't like that. I don't know. Davis.
Yeah.
America is dead in Valorant.
Dead. Just like I saw it. I hated to do it. I did not. I wanted to pull for NA, but I just really didn't think this was their event, honestly. I think for me, it was Pacific. I actually saw Gen G coming into the event as the team to beat, and it ended up being Paper X. But I don't know. I just didn't really see NA in a good spot entering this event. And it's kind of been like that for a little bit now. I mean, I think this is the last team that I remember other than a Pacific/China team that's won a Masters was Sentinels in 2023, I think that's when it was. So, I mean, they've been dominating the crap out of the field. So, just kind of what I expected, to be honest.
Wow. Jogmo. Jogmo.
I'm sorry to say that, but I wish.
You're getting the dandruff off the shoulder?
No. He's just like, sorry, I just was so much smarter than you.
No, I'm saying I didn't have confidence in G2. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I didn't have confidence in G2. I didn't pick them last week to win, and Fnatic won.
Jogmo.
-15 in that match. Just
Oh,
And
get it away from me. Ew.
The stats are there, and as Davis is saying, they're not performing. And I mean, if we're looking at, like you said, I actually looked this up. So Gen G won, then it was EDG, then it was T1, now it's Paper X. Yep. So Asia as a whole is dominating VCT in whatever Masters or Champions that they're going to right now.
Yep.
And Pacific region just seems to have taken off by itself. So the question is now, what does NA have to do, I think, to try to catch up to these others? Like, obviously, a big thing that was coming in for G2 was that Tejo being taken away, and they didn't adapt as well as some of us thought.
Yeah.
No adaptation from NA. We're just moving on, okay? This hurts. I'm in pain. Emotional pain. I can't handle this. We need NA to show up. But because NA didn't show up, Fnatic, by the way, who had a crazy losers bracket running. Obviously, they made it all the way to the grand finals. I say obviously. You saw the bracket. You know what I'm saying. You get it. But then after this, we did see a winners finals between the Wolves and Paper X. And Paper X, they look good.
Very good.
They look very good.
And I mean, Wolves was playing tremendously too this whole event, but it's kind of like we talked about with Pain, Furia, and CS. Like, Wolves is a very new, China's very new. Obviously, EDG did win the champions last year, so China's obviously established already. But still, I mean, it's a big-time game. You're going up against PRX, the most experienced team at the event, as a brand new team. I think it's a big ask to see Wolves to try to arrive in that moment and beat PRX. So.
Yeah, the Cinderella run from Wolves. I mean, talk about an under-rep team that kind of made it further than we thought they would. And the same story honestly exists for Paper X, and the fact that they were able to go and win this whole thing is just amazing when you look at the powerhouse teams. And ultimately, that's kind of the theme of this tournament, is the fact that a lot of the big teams just did not make it that far.
Yeah, I mean, those are the 2-3 seeds from both of their respective regions that made it all the way that far to winners finals.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is wild. I agree. Okay, cool. And then where are we at? We're at our grand finals. We did have Paper X versus Fnatic. This was such a good series. The Sunset was so close. Map 1 was crazy. Icebox was crazy. Then it kind of tapered off a little bit. You know, we ended up in a weird spot where we're like, what do we do on Pearl? I've never played on Pearl before. Get me out of here.
This was an amazing play to win the final map, the first map.
Yeah.
They did the Sage Wall boost to get the final 2 kills. Was absolutely insane.
The Pacific region just has, their strats are just different. Like that, the reason NA is not winning stuff is because they're not doing stuff like that. Just simple as that.
Yeah, they're really aggressive playstyle. I liked it. But the issue I saw with Fnatic is, like, we saw really good performances out of Paper X on their picks, but Fnatic were struggling to close out, obviously, their pick on Icebox. And then also, they were on map point on Lotus, and then also struggled to close it out on Lotus again, and that's where Paper X were able to take it from him. And it looks like right now Fnatic, they made that great run, but Paper X just seems, they know how to basically close out games, and it paid in dividends for them. Obviously, Icebox did go to the 15-17 in favor of Fnatic, but man, Paper X just looked really good.
Yeah, and I think the craziest part about this matchup was something I saw over the weekend of, you couldn't ask for a grand finals with 2 teams that have varying play styles more than another. It's one team plays like there's only 20 seconds left, and the other team waits until there's 20 seconds left. And obviously, apparently playing like there's 20 seconds left is the play, because they came out on top winning 3-1. It's actually crazy.
It was, and it was so good. And I look at it, and it's like, we're not comparing the 2 games, but when I look at Counter-Strike, which was a best of 3, not a great finals, this was a great finals. Yeah. This is a really good match.
I want to look at, too, at the event as a whole. Like, this event was tremendous. We just talked about the 2-3 seeds from China and the Pacific region. They were in the winners finals. There's upsets everywhere. But the team that won, 3 people on their roster, this was their 6th Masters appearance. They've never won it. Finally being able to be on that stage, you saw them crying after lifting the trophy. Like, being in that moment, they finally accomplished it, finally did it. Looking at the CS major, yes, it was good. Vitality won, but, I mean, if you were to bet on somebody before the tournament started, you would have probably bet all your money on Vitality to win. It was just kind of just how everybody saw it playing out. So not very surprising there. Very, very surprising out of Valorant.
MVP, Paper X, Davey?
Forsaken for me.
Forsaken. He was up there too.
I think Davey had some more pop-off moments, but
Right.
Forsaken was better all
Definitely.
around throughout the entire Grand Finals.
Clutch if you just need a solid, definitely Forsaken.
Interesting. Cool. Well, we're going to do the exact same thing with Valorant. We're going to go to stage 2. And guess what that means? Roster changes. Here we go. And so that's going to happen on the same side. I'm going to pick you, Chris, for this question. And it's a fun question. Give me one team where you're like, they have to make a roster change immediately in order to be successful. Any of the Valorant, any region, I'm cool with any region, whatever you want.
That's a tough one. I'd probably want to see it maybe on G2 because when you get to, obviously, Bangkok, they got to Grand Finals, were unable to win. They got here, unable to get into the top 2 this time. They're there, but they need that one deciding factor. It's similar to what Davis was talking about earlier on Mongols possibly needing that superstar that can really propel them forward. I think they just need someone solid that can help them perform and get back to that Grand Final state because I feel like they're close.
Yeah.
And I feel like NA can definitely get back to kind of that when we saw Sentinels doing very well. And I think if G2 can make that change or find that player, then I think that could propel them forward to being NA's great hope once again. I wouldn't say Sentinels actually like most of the Sentinels teams, so I kind of wish Sentinels would just actually just get their act together as a whole. I don't want them to make any changes because I really like that roster.
Interesting. I love the viewpoint, Chris. That's good. It was a good question for you. Go ahead if you want.
In my VR,
you're
self-destruct. Self-destruct.
Everybody, and then you put a bubble around Aspas. Everybody else, gone. See ya.
I was going to say, I think it would be sick to see Aspas in an NA team, or in a North American team, not a South American team.
Yeah.
But he's obviously been always South American.
Well, our show for the next couple weeks with Valorant and Counter-Strike is going to be these roster changes. So if you're excited about those things, if you want to hear our hypothesis, we're going to be talking about all of those things very, very soon. But next, we're going to jump into America's sweetheart when it comes to Call of Duty Esports. It's in the dumpster, but that's okay. We love it anyway. We have champs coming up next week. I got to know who's going to win in winners round 1 for champs, and then who's going to win the overall event. Can you show us the bracket, sir? Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Davis, who's going to win and why is it FaZe?
I got Thieves, or in round 1. In round 1, I have Thieves, Heretic. Ooh. I'm going to go FaZe. And Ultra. And yeah, I think FaZe are going to win because they're FaZe. They have the tiny tears and they're better than everybody on land.
Where's this? Here, I need this. Clutch it! Let's go. FaZe up. Okay, sorry. FaZe up. Here we go. Clutch it. Nick, any different thoughts that we need to throw out there? Has 3 weeks of practice been enough for Optic to finally win?
Not that mass against FaZe. No. However, where I do differ is I still am not on the Miami Heretics bandwagon just yet, and I have faith in Surge bouncing back, especially in this round 1.
I think that's a tough one too. You got Rambo Ray with Coach. They're gonna be there to battle.
Don't disrespect Super that way. Don't you do that. You apologize to the camera.
I would
Super?
never. I would never.
He might punch you in the face.
He might.
I want Heretics are like number 3 for me. I think that like if they go up against Thieves again, oh, it would be so amazing. You talked about this before.
Yeah, we did. I mean, I kind of am on the Surge though.
Hey,
for the win. I'm a little bit more, and then I actually do have LA Thieves to win it all. I think with their last major win that they can propel themselves forward. But
Is it because they're red and black as well?
I mean, both teams are red. As Andy says, the red teams.
The red team
no
will
one
win.
else can beat the red team. So if you don't have the color red, I mean, that might just be the change everyone needs to make. Optic just needs to go in this, change their colors real quick to black and red.
Completely
and
rebrand.
It should be good too as well. But I actually think, I don't think Optic will beat FaZe, so I do think that they'll win that match as well. But I could see Optic making a really good lower run, and I hope that they do because they've been fun to watch.
They will get DFR'd. They're going to get knocked. They're going to lose 2 in a row. You heard it here first.
They're not going to lose to it.
Yes, they are. What are you? The Mercules buff is not enough.
You're just a hater.
I am. I'm just angry.
You have no stats behind you. You are just.
They've not been practicing enough, Nick. Okay,
I do hope with this break.
Boot camp.
With the break, hopefully the teams have improved because if they haven't, like we said, it's just going to be who's going to be the better red team. So.
They've been playing Counter-Strike.
I know. I've seen them all streaming.
They're all
They've
streaming
all been
Counter-Strike.
streaming basic. Like, bro,
They're not even playing. They're like, oh, it's over. Let's go play Counter-Strike. No, I mean, I say that in a joking way, but like ultimately it's like, it is the red teams, and I don't think they've been practicing. And I mean, it's also interesting because I think the Esports World Cup, in my eyes, is a bigger event than Champs. I know that Champs will be like, I know, I get it. But from like a monetary perspective and like as a player experience, like I think the experience at EWC is going to be better. But that's just my eyes. What do I know? I'm just a guy. I don't.
So who do you have?
They don't even pay me to be here. I just showed up.
Who do you have taking it? This isn't official.
Oh my
As of right
gosh,
now.
it has to be FaZe.
Okay. I'm saying FaZe as well.
Oh really?
3 FaZe, 1 Thieves.
Okay, we'll see.
They're all red.
We'll do some pick 'em.
It's all they're all red.
Every pick'em's red.
Cool. Well, that'll be interesting to see. It'll be exciting to be able to go and do and experience Call of Duty in Canada. I think that's important. You have to go do that from time to time.
Everything's in Canada.
I know, right? How did this happen?
Taxes.
Okay, so
Change the subject.
I do want to open it up to the room. If there's anything that we missed, I do want to cover something as well. So I have one for the group. But there's anything over these 3 games that we just want to touch on real quick that we're not covering in a future segment?
I think we're good.
I'm all good.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
He's about to.
Somebody retired during the Counter-Strike event. Dupree?
Yeah.
We saw this?
We did.
I actually
this?
did not see that.
Oh, he was on the stage. The man cried. He said, I'm so sad that I'm never playing Counter-Strike again. He retired, Nick.
He did.
He's not playing Counter-Strike
we hate
anymore.
this.
I swear, if he comes back and plays Counter-Strike again, I'm going to be pissed.
He won't.
You think this is an official retirement, not coming back to it?
Yeah, but it's just still, it's weird. Again, you don't. And again, it depends on where the ask came from. If they needed filler content for something on stage,
I don't know. Maybe.
or if he was like, "Hey, I want to make this big thing out of me retiring," and I don't know. Like I said,
I kind of liked it. I think it's much better to do it in that way than to just do it on a one-off, just post on social media, oh, I'm retiring. Like, if you're a legend like Dupree and you can have that platform, like, that's sick. And like you said, make sure if you stay ratired, but you shouldn't just be.
You shouldn't just retire. I'm watching. Don't do that.
I'm not going to lie. One of the hardest quotes from this weekend was, I was dying for the opportunity to be standing up here and at least have 1 major, but I have 5, and it's like,
Yeah. No, like,
darn.
Ball or move.
Touche. You win that one.
When you're a legend like that, you get opportunities like that, though. I think that's one thing that a lot of players just wouldn't have the opportunity to be able to have a platform to retire like that. So
I would have been like, okay, so I don't think Zywoo should retire, but like if he did, like that's a good moment, right? Like you're on top, you just won the thing, whatever. Like they would say, hey,
when you retire from like UFC or boxing or something, and you leave your gloves in the middle of the arena, like those sorts of moments are cool.
if it was me, I'd just walk up with my mouse and keyboard, throw it on the ground.
I'm done. Have a great day. See you guys later. Peace out. Okay, cool. Let's go to the feed. It's going to be exciting. I think mine's first. Ooh, it is. Mine is first. So there was some Call of Duty action that happened this past weekend. There was a Challengers event. I say a Challengers event. There was an event run by the Toronto Ultra called the Overclocked, sponsored by AMD. It smells like a sponsored tournament if I've ever seen one before in my life. And that's exactly what it looks like. So the Toronto Ultra ran and did this. One of the teams playing in there was the Gorilla Mates. And they didn't do good because they lost. And I say to this, Nick, this is what I say. Challengers team's looking way better than some of the bottom CDL teams. And that's an issue.
It's kind of where it's like, even, again, you're comparing apples to oranges, such a situation, but you wish every event had open teams that fed into the championship bracket in some way, shape, or form, so that we didn't have these issues going forward. If LAG and Rocker were not the best teams and some Challengers teams were better, they should be given their shot every single event.
Is he selling Halo to me right now? Is that what this is what it looks like, Chris?
Yeah, we talked about this last week.
No.
And I think a lot of us agreed that the open brackets and allowing teams to come in from an open area, it helps scenes. And I wish it was still in League of Legends. They were actually talking about a lot of this as well, like going back to 2018 when they did allow like teams, you know, from the smaller regions as well to make their way up.
Yep.
And I agree. But like this is also thinking about like, okay, we're having Challengers teams beating Gorilla mates, and then we're also hearing some pros say that there's no good Challengers players or no way up the ladder.
That'll get you punched.
Yeah, well, it'll get you punched, but I mean, they're proving that obviously some of these Challenger players probably deserve to be there and could offer better, challenges against maybe some of the quote-unquote red teams.
Yeah, and a lot of these teams that are pulling off these upsets have former pro players on them, so it's not just like 4 randoms. But at the same point in time, they deserve their shot. They deserve their chance to come back into the league and prove that they still belong.
The main thing I think is just what Chris said. The fact that we have teams at the top of the league, the top of the league, saying there's no talent, blah, 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 this and that. I'm just really happy for the guys and Challengers being able to arrive and show, like, no, we're talented and we can beat these guys just like you can.
Yeah, I love the fact that this tournament happened. I think it's great. It's a 10K. It's a nice little bump. Like, it's good for players. One of the things that the Call of Duty scene is missing, in my opinion, is we need more events.
Yeah.
Right? We need more events, right? There's 4 majors and a championship, and an EWC, which is maybe more important than the rest. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on who you ask. Nick, what's your feed? Go to your feed. What you got?
My feed, we have Simple.
No. Next, the other feed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, the other feed.
Yeah, the other feed.
Oh. Rocker, forfeit. They said, nah. Toronto Ultra sent out a tweet, said, hey, Rocker, this ain't rank play, little bro. They forfeited. They got beat in the winner side, and they were just like, nah, they're done. There must have been, I would have loved to have been in that Discord call or TeamSpeak to figure out what was going on for them to just be like, nah, we're done. But
I need to know the context.
You can't do that in a tournament. Money's on the line. You're representing an organization, not just yourself.
That's your boy Kenny talking right there, Davis.
He didn't show up for this. That was the other crazy thing. They had a fill-in.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess he didn't want to play.
Kenny was too big for this.
Yeah, I didn't want to play. Yeah. Hey.
I think it's that mindset, and I think it's just messed up, to be honest. They shouldn't be forfeiting no matter what. If you're getting beat, then you just take the loss and you leave. You don't just baby rage and leave the match. So. I don't have context of what I don't have context of what actually happened, but should have definitely stayed in.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I would beg the question that the Gorilla Mates and the Rockers shouldn't have been in this tournament, right? Like, you're kind of, in some ways, lowering your status by doing it. And like, I can appreciate that they did do it, but I think that they should be able to win it easily. And that is not what happened. And that is not good.
Yeah,
anybody.
That is true. It also hurts their brand a lot, like you were saying. The fact that they are lowering their standard to play a team who's not in the franchise league and then losing to them doesn't look good. So, I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure both of them get auto invites to EWC as well.
I believe they are going to play at EWC. Right?
And these guys are out here struggling, hoping, fighting for a chance.
Okay, Chris, you're the owner of the Gorilla Mates, and you saw that happen. Your team got bounced by a bunch of Challengers teams. Did you just go pick up a Challengers team instead?
Yeah, whoever beat me, they're getting signed. Our first place if it's a Challengers.
Who are those guys?
Yeah. It's like,
if they're not working and they're not going to play up to the standard, because maybe it could, as you guys are saying, they're maybe rage and quitting. Maybe they're not playing up to the standard that they would be playing in the CDL because they think they're going into this 10K tournament. Maybe they can just steamroll. Yep. They get steamrolled at the point or, lose. However, you're thinking if you're not going to be participating at the level that you should be and putting out the standard of play you should be, then, well, you should probably get replaced.
There you go. All right, Davis, give us the next one. What you got, buddy? What's going on this weekend?
Coming over to me, so we're looking at the grand finals of the Blast Major. This was actually the online the night before. They played this match, and the Mongols also had the short stick in this one too. Vitality was able to win. You can't actually see it too good though. The main thing I wanted to highlight in this screenshot down here on the scoreboard on the left at the very bottom, you can't read it right now, but there's a name down there.
There is. I know.
Iosuke. Iosuke.
Yeah.
I think his final is 2-16 for this match. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Are we foreshadowing a little bit?
I just wanted to put that out there. He was 2-16 in this match. He's a great player. He's got a lot of hype. Maybe can't live up to the big dogs.
Maybe. I mean,
that's hilarious. They played.
It's crazy that they play each other, and I think some of those are randoms in the lobby or whatever that ended up there. And so I think I saw a chat where, which one? It wasn't Mezzi. Maybe it was Flames was saying.
Oh, the hug.
The hug.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's like, yeah, I'm gonna hug you after the match, no matter what, win or lose. Yeah. And they actually did hug. There's a picture of it.
Love that
tweet. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy that these teams do see each other and face it a lot. And I think if I'm them, like, I'm not playing my cards.
Definitely not.
Oh no, in a pub face it match? No,
definitely not.
Or maybe you smoke them. You say, I'm better than you. I don't care. You can know it. No?
No, that's not.
Okay,
that's not the play. You tried to go 4D chess there, and you basically went tic-tac-toe, but it's fine.
I lose, you win. Okay, cool. Chris, give us yours.
Yes, so MSI has released their hype video. Unfortunately, we don't have the video for it, but if you should just go ahead and watch it. It's pretty good. Gets everything set and ready for MSI, and it is going to be fun. I think this is one of the best lineups for MSI that we've had in a while in terms of teams coming in, but it's also the first time we're getting the where they have to play the Fearless draft against each other. So I think we're going to see a lot of fun play between all the teams as well. They had a really good, set up all the players, had their kind of promo shots. Of course, the ending is with Baker looking at the camera, and then it's shouting to their quote line, which I believe is like ignite the fire and get ready for MSI. Of course, they're going to Canada, so kind of weird because it's probably going to be pretty cold up there. But it's a good time, should be good, and looks like they're pulling out all the stops for it. So right after VCT, shipping right over to Vancouver. And we're going to get right into it, and I think it's going to be a really good event.
I mean, it's a great transition for us. I mean, obviously, we just had a lot of Valorant stuff, a lot of CSGO stuff, and being able to just kind of transition to the League of Legends. One of the things I actually am enjoying a lot about the esports landscape is the fact that we do get seasons for different games where it's a little bit heavier, and we get to cover those games so much more in depth. And so this would be a great time to be able to invest into League of Legends scene and see how the regions internationally compare, because you don't really know until it happens. The other thing that I think is really cool about this, League of Legends, Riot, not League of Legends, does a really good job, and I've noticed this from the Valorant event, of like there's so much cool cosmetic stuff that they do to kind of enhance the stream, the lighting, some characters on the stage or whatever, and they do this even more so on the League of Legends side than they do on the Valorant side. So I'm excited to just be able to watch that show and see what it looks like.
Well, Chris mentioned it a few weeks back, right after the Spirit Blossom thing started in game, and I was paying attention to it on stream the last few weeks. The stuff that they have on stage with the Spirit Blossom is really cool. I like how the theme and like everything mood it gives.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just so aesthetically pleasing. They just do such a great job on the artiste side.
Yeah, they don't mess around when it comes to live events.
It's Picasso over there. Okay, one of the things I saw, I was looking at Reddit. I don't know exactly if it's a Reddit post. I can't remember what I sent Eli. Yeah, I sent Eli a Reddit post. This guy's upset. He bought a VIP pass. He said it was like $900 to go and watch the Blast Major. And then he had to wait outside. He said there wasn't enough merchandise. He had a bad experience or whatever. I'm curious, and this isn't a clutch or kick or even part of the segment, but I thought this was interesting, the fact that, would you pay $900 for a VIP experience? And do you think that, I don't know. I don't know if these things are true, right? I talked to somebody who was at the event. They said there wasn't a lot of merchandise available. It sold out really quickly. People buy it really fast, so it's hard to get. He said you had to wait in the sun. I don't know. Maybe you do have to wait in the sun. I'm not sure. But I'm curious, if you take this at face value and there's some of those issues, would you pay $900 to go to the event? Do you think VIP tickets are worth it or not worth it in this case?
VIP tickets are worth it in certain regards, but it doesn't seem like Blast did a good job there. I haven't seen yet a great esports VIP experience.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
So it's pay a little bit more, get a poster, and get to sit in this fancy roped off section. Not worth $900 or whatever that was.
That's where I'm at too. I think the price line of $900 is where I'm kind of pushing out the window, because I think obviously you should offer some type of VIP experience. And like you said, in esports, it's just, I don't think that we're to a level where you can really have it worth that much money right now. So I think definitely lowering the standard, $900 is just way too much.
And I'm certain it sounds like there was a gift bag and you get some T-shirts and some knickknacks. And I think actually the ESL event in Dallas in like 2018, I did buy a VIP pass and I got that stuff. And I still like have the trinkets from it in my room, and I think that's cool. But I think that was like,
it's not an experience. You're buying trinkets.
Yeah, that was like $250, and I was like, oh, this is cool. But it's like, I think one of the things that you're like looking for is like, this is a terrible example, but like bottle service at the club. Like, like I paid $900. Like, bring me filet mignon.
Like a server, somebody bringing me food, drinks. 100%. I'm right there with you.
I think that's the standard for what VIP should look like.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, if you show up and your VIP is just a little bit better seat compared to everybody else, like that's not a VIP.
Yeah, I want a Mai Tai and call it a day, you know?
Show up, there's a red carpet. Yeah.
This guy just got back and he's already trying to go on vacation. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
I'm gonna say, I miss it, man. It was a lot of fun.
Understand.
All right, Nick, what you got for a post?
Now we got simple talk trash. We're not going to read the whole thing, but long story short, some people were complaining about how Simple didn't go to the team dinner and unless there's an emergency in his life. And then Simple just said some expletives and shut him down real quick. So there's two things in me. One, I love this. I would never ask any of my players or myself to do this, but it just fits Simple and his brand so well to send something like this and just standing on business and shut up. You don't know what's going on. We're perfectly fine over here.
I will say he's a lone player. He's only been involved with this team for like a month or like a month and a half. So I don't really see that big of a deal with it. But like, I guess it is kind of a vibe mess up to not be at his birthday. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I personally, when I see people post stuff like that, not the reply, but someone posting like that, it's usually in my turn rage baity. They're trying to farm impressions off of it. But I really don't like. There's no way any random person should be saying what Simple can and cannot do. Like, there may have been something he had prior attending that he had to do, etc. But, like, it is so weird that someone just goes on and says that. I love the reply, though. And I wish, there wouldn't be, like, more fines, because obviously some other leagues may have, like, ways that you can reply on social, or, like, organizations may be like, okay, well, if you say this, then you may get fined with whatever you reply to. I say that you should just let them say, if someone's saying something stupid, let them call it out.
You know what CS needs to do? They do a great job with their bits, their in-between segments. They need a mean tweet segment. They need to where you're just, it's the camera and Simple's like, this guy said I should have went to team dinner. F you.
You read the mean tweets? Yeah. I remember that series on YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's on one of the late night talk shows.
Yeah, that's a great series. I actually should do that. That would be fun.
Hey, don't take that idea. We'll do it here.
Sorry, we got it. Just kidding.
That's good. Okay, cool. Thank you for bringing that up. Simple, we love you. You're doing great. Just be unapologetically yourself. We love
Either sign with FaZe or go back to Navi. Those are your two options.
Listen, don't tell Simple what to do.
I just did. I'm rage baiting.
Okay, I lost my spot on this piece of paper. Who's next?
I think it's me.
Okay, David, you go. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Going over to Valorant again, we got Corrode, the new map that's coming out. They released the mini map of it, and I just wanted to show it. I think it looks like a really good map. I think it looks like Split, but a little bit better. You can actually access CT spawn from mid, which I think that has been one of my biggest gripes about Split since it was released. I think this gives the attackers a lot more presence to be able to stop rotates. Maps like Split, when you can't get into CT spawn through mid, they can just freely rotate through the back, and you have to retake versus 5 every round. So this makes it where you can get an attacker up in that spot to lurk, catch the rotation. Great map.
Overview, it looked like Lotus without a bomb site in the middle. The aesthetic, unfortunately, was the same old, same old. I was expecting so much more from this. And the aesthetic was same.
They're not living up to the artiste.
Yeah, they're not. They're not.
I mean, it's corroded. You know what I'm saying? That's why CT is open. The brick got corroded, and so now you.
I'm not trying to hate because I, as a guy from Halo, and we're always begging for new maps, and we haven't gotten any in years. The fact that they're making new maps, congrats, hats off. But I was underwhelmed. I was underwhelmed when looking at the map itself and the visuals.
Chris, I have a question for you. This map is now competitive. We're playing this on the competitive.
Yeah, they put it right in.
EWC, Stage 2, all that stuff's going to have it. Do you think that's too soon? You think
I think it's good. Let it rip. I think it's like, because as we said, we were talking about metas and everything. Let them figure it out, like on the fly. And I think it makes for excellent gameplay as well, because we're learning as the meta develops, as the teams have to adapt to these new maps, and it just makes it more fun for the viewer experience. Obviously some teams will adapt to it quicker, and that could give them, an advantage.
Kind of like what Chris was saying earlier about with Riot liking to do this kind of stuff. I mean, they love to do that. Every time they implement a new map into Valorant, it's always straight in the rotation. They patch stuff before international events. They like the chaos, freshening things up in the
And that's why Paper Rex flourished.
Hey, at least they're intentional about how they do it. Because on the other side of it, if you look at Counter-Strike and Call of Duty, updates just be going whenever. It'd be like the day before, it'd be like, hey, we broke the game. Good luck. Have a good one. At least Riot's like, hey, we know we broke the game. Good luck. Okay?
Figure it out.
We did that.
This has been on the calendar.
We told you we were going to break it and then send it to you. Okay?
Yeah.
For sure.
Chris, last one. Here we go. We're gonna wrap.
All
the feed
right,
after
so
this one.
one more league. Los Ratones, back-to-back EMEA Masters champions. Second team to do it outside of Carmine Court Blue. And the Rats have done it in spectacular fashion. Absolutely blowing, like a Challengers level scene, viewership out of the water with Cadril doing the casting for it. Obviously, watching that, and this is a great team. They're a lot of fun to watch. Obviously, they have Reckles. You have a lot of names that you recognize, but I think it's been a good way to show how well the Challengers team is performing, and we need to get something like it kind of working a little more in NA. Obviously, we had near airport trying to do it. They had some things, and they fell apart. They had their last departure a couple weeks ago, but I like what they're doing over on Los Ratones. I think it's good to show that a team can not only do content, but also push the boundaries of how well they're doing. So the content on top of them actually pushing to play for first, in my opinion, is really good. They stream all their scrims, and they're still getting first place. So it can be done. The content is there if they're willing to do it, and I think, there's a lot in store for them.
Yeah, I think this can honestly shape a lot of esports orgs and teams going forward of content first. And that should be great for the scene overall. So love to see them doing well, and hope more orgs take note.
Just play better, Davis. That's all you have to do.
No, make more content. CJ, I just said it. The play doesn't matter. Make more content.
I think it's really cool what they've been able to do. 100%. I mean, like Chris said, obviously a bunch of names that you recognize. So like, it doesn't speak as much to me necessarily about like the challenger scene and showcasing like what a challengers team can really do as to rising through the ranks, because I mean, these are special players. Like at the end of the day, these guys that have been pros have all done it, but it's super special that they've been able to make it to this far while doing all the content that they do.
As a core esports human, which is what I would describe myself as, esports is in my blood.
Okay.
Anything that improves, creates more players for esports, teaches people to play the game, gets them engaged and involved, this is dope. Love it. And the fact that they can win and show their scrims, that's amazing. I love that. Congratulations to you guys. Way to rock it. That's been the feed. If you hate that segment and you don't want to listen to it or watch it, just skip over it next time, or let us know in the comments that you love the feed and that we need to do it more.
Skip over and let us know.
Both.
All of the
Do all of the things. We've got a new segment for y'all today, though. Okay? It's called Build Your Loadout, and we've got some games. These games are going to pop up on the screen, and we're going to go through and we're going to pick games that we think would embody us in some way. And I don't even know what that means, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to say a game that you get to pick two that you get to go through, and you can pick them for any reason you want. You could say, I like the colors of this one, or whatever it is, whatever you want. Who would like to? Anybody like to go first? I'm gonna make somebody go first.
I'll go first. There you go.
You go? Okay, I'll go. So mine's pretty easy. I'll go first. Mine was pretty easy for this. I love Rockstar and what they do for best open world. So obviously my go-to was Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. Kind of because they're on the opposite ends of the spectrum, but because the Rockstar games, both of their open worlds kind of play similar to each other, which is why I think I liked them so much. Obviously, with Grand Theft Auto, more new age, you're able to do a lot in the Grand Theft Auto online. There's a lot of extras that unlock, and you're able to do a lot of different fun activities that they put out. For Red Dead Redemption, I like racing.
No, like killing civilians and
robbing banks.
Oh, I mean, that is a part of it. The heists were fun. The heists were super fun in the Grand Theft Auto. That was one of my favorite times. Such a chaotic time in Grand Theft Auto Online. Red Dead Redemption Online, iffy, but the actual story play was a lot of fun.
Oh, there's so much to do.
Yeah, there is. Like,
amazing.
And I'm even going back to, just Red Dead Redemption 1, not even 2 itself, or Red Dead Undead, the DLC that came for that, I think was just a lot of fun, really expansive world. You can still do a lot in those, go down to Mexico if you want, come back, Red Dead 2, just the, detail that they put into their open world was a lot of fun also.
Okay. Davis, you wanted to go. You get to go next.
Well, he said how easy his was. This was actually pretty difficult for me, but we actually ended up on the same title.
Oh, there you go.
I would have picked Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead.
You guys are not scared to die.
Well, I'm not. Okay, I have to be straight. I'm not very familiar with any of the other games on here. I mean, I know them, obviously. I know all of them, but I haven't played any of them.
Sure.
Red Dead, I haven't played either, but I think it looks really cool. I like the Western look. And then Grand Theft Auto, I have played some. I think it's really cool, the online, and I like watching the RP servers and like the kind of new age GTA RP online. So those are my picks.
Okay, cool. Nick, what you got?
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay.
I'll go.
No, you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay, I'll go. I'm first gonna go with Elder Scrolls. It's one of the best RPG like titles ever, in my opinion. In the open world, it had I don't know the exact statistics on it, but it had one of the largest maps ever. And then Oblivion, and then Skyrim just blew it out of the water. So if you're talking open world, these maps are massive, and you need to fast travel and ride on these little scarab things to get from one place to another. But great game, insane amount of opportunities to go. However, another one, Zelda. Zelda is one of my all-time favorite franchises. Open world as well, solving puzzles along the way, whether it's 2D or 3D. Great games. Majora's Mask, probably one of my favorite games of all time.
This is interesting because you two picked the same thing. And Nick and I picked the same thing, Skyrim and Zelda. My thing was slaying dragons is fire. Like, I need that in my life, okay? There's nothing like slaying a dragon. And the dragon might be a dragon in your life, okay, that you got to slay. But you slay that dragon, and Skyrim is the practice that you need to do that. Zelda, you guys don't know this. Well, maybe you do. I'm a big escape room guy. I like escape rooms. I'm a big fan of solving them and trying to figure them out and stuff. And Zelda's kind of like that, right? It's like a little mini escape room right now where you have some kind of problem you're trying to solve, and you're like, why the heck doesn't this key go in here? And why do I need this flute to make this noise to go do this thing and make the waterfall fall and whatever? And I thought that was so fun and exciting and just, engaging the critical
I remember that
skills.
level. That was a good level.
Yeah. It's like all of them, You got to go to GameStop and buy the guidebook, okay?
Yeah.
You need to, I don't know how to do this.
This guy's cheating.
Oh, I would definitely cheat. Yeah. I can't figure that crap out. I'm dumb.
Give it to me.
Page 65.
Well, this has been a fun segment. We're just trying it out. So if you like this segment, let us know what 2 games you would pick and why you would pick them. Maybe it's Dark Souls because you have a dark soul. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Okay? Your choice. You get to pick. All right, on to the next. Clutch or Kick, our favorite segment. We got the Clutch or Kick signs ready to go. Chris is first.
I'm first?
You are first, sir.
Uh-oh.
Make it a good one. I don't want to kick it.
Cool. All right, starting off with mine, Riot has introduced LGC for League of Legends, which is going to be basically game changers for League of Legends now. This is kicking off in Europe, though, and Riot has said that they are not going to interfere or take away the other game changers that are already in place in the European scene, meaning that they're basically going to be adding another tournament for them. I think this is a clutch because Riot does a lot of franchising. They like to basically be the center of attention in a lot of their games, and now they are allowing inclusivity for the League of Legends scene. And I think that adding an additional women's only tournament, or those who identify as it, are allowed to play multiple across Europe is pretty good. And I'm glad that they're not just saying that we are the only event for it.
I'm gonna clutch it. I'm gonna take the reins here while CJ still ponders and wonders in which direction he wants to go. But no, I think multiple things here. Number one, like you said, Riot likes to hold a monopoly in a lot of things, and the fact that they're opening this up and saying, "Hey, this doesn't have to be the only one, but it is one." And then two, the other side of it, just more opportunities for women in the scene to play games and have exposure is great, and we love to see it.
I'm actually going to take a kick here.
Whoa!
And my reasoning is because I think that this means Riot is not going to be very invested in the league. I think if they were actually focused on it and really wanted it to be one of their own products, they would be making sure that it would be the women's league of EMEA. And so I think that this is like, it is good. Like, it's clutch that is a good thing that there's more opportunities for women to play. But I think that Riot's really just going to kind of kick it to the side once it gets started.
Interesting. I have a question because I want to qualify this. Are there any female players that play in any of the regions currently? Are there any girls on any of the teams?
No.
There's no girls on any of the teams. Okay. So I'm going to clutch this only for the reason that I think it can help bring talent to the page, to the stars, where a team might pick up somebody that's a woman because they have an opportunity to play. And I view this as the same way I look at the high school esports scene when it comes to League of Legends. it's really, really hard to get a team together of 5 people that are going the same direction because of how vast the game of League of Legends is. There's so many different roles and who plays what role and how do they learn it or whatever. And so I think allowing women a place where they can compete and get better and improve will help them be able to bridge that gap. So I like it because of that.
Sweet.
And I like the idea. I don't want to seem like a vet.
No.
A mean guy.
No, we understand.
A mean guy.
Okay. Just to be clear, we don't think you hate women, Davis. We know. No, there's definitely a chance where it just becomes, this is just checking a block because of the way the world works today. And I could totally see that. I think that's a fair statement.
Yeah. And to your point, it is kind of just in that if we take a look at how Europe works for their challenger scene as well, it's pretty much they have a lot of different regions, which is why I think that they're allowing the other regions is because, they'll have many Spanish teams, French teams, etc. Which is why I think they're trying to stay away from those is because they don't want to pull from those specific pools and be like, oh, no more Spanish-speaking country allowed to, have this inclusivity tournament for it. So
makes sense. We'll see. I'm excited to watch the matches too. We'll see what goes on with them. Okay, me next.
Ooh.
I'm talking about
me.
my favorite person in the whole world. Okay, the one and only Simple. Okay, the question, the clutcher kick is when teams pick up players like this that are not very good players that just are there to sell tickets. Is this something that we should allow them to do?
Did he just say Simple was not a good
I'm not a good player.
He did not play good. He's not good, okay? Look at him. You got Simple, looking great, kind of slow, though, not fast. You got 9-10, playing great, not necessarily looking great, okay, at times. So I would say that the FaZe picked up Simple because he is, what's the best way to describe this? Because he's going to help him sell tickets. He's not necessarily a great player. So, Nick, would you like to go first?
Oh, wait, my turn.
No, actually, I'll go first.
Okay.
I am going to kick this. I don't think they should do that. Simple sucks. I don't know. I don't like it. Okay, cool. Go ahead, Nick.
Wait, now I'm confused.
So so I got confused as
What's
well
the
with that.
premise?
So it's the statement that teams should not pick up players based only to sell tickets.
Correct.
Not necessarily that Simple was that. It's just
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah. Go ahead. I did a really bad job.
Okay.
I did a really bad job introducing that.
Terrible sales.
But ultimately, I don't think the premise is the fact that players getting picked up by organizations in order to sell tickets is not a good thing. That's why I kicked it.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Then yes, I agree. They should not pick up players just to sell tickets.
Okay, so I was about to kick up the clutch because I was going to say I agree with you that they should not pick up. I don't think Simple is that type of pickup.
He is not.
But
That's what
I do not think that orgs. I think orgs, and this is going back to what we're talking about with champs, right?
Yep.
On that, if teams are getting beat, but they're only using names on roster that are like high-level names because they've been in the CDL for some time, and trying to get people to watch them just because they have those CDL players instead of picking up challenger players, then that doesn't make any sense if they're losing. So I'm gonna kick Kit because I agree with it.
I've been sitting here trying to decide, and this one thought just ran through my mind. And actually, you know what? I'm going to clutch this.
Sell them tickets. Make that content.
Because it's their decision. Hell, if FaZe, who's a huge brand, if they want to be able to say, we want Simple on our team because he brings so many views in our content creation, whatever, they can do it. If it makes sense to them logistically, whatever.
Okay, I lied. I was going to clutch it the whole time. I just kicked it to see what would happen. And so I'm actually clutching this because I do think you should be able to get players.
Now, wait a minute here.
I'm sticking with my decision. I am a full through and through. If they wanted, get someone like that, pick them up, but keep them as a sixth man on the roster. Don't actually have them play on the actual full roster himself. Just have him as a sixth man and make him sell
Just to be clear, that's not what FaZe did.
Oh, I know, but I don't think that Simple was picked up only to sell tickets. I think he could actually do something for the team. It would just take a little more time than 1 or 2 tournaments to do it.
Scream, a.k.a. is what Chris was
Scream. Scream is the same thing.
Prime example.
Well, but I think Scream is actually good. So.
Oh, my God.
Nick, go.
Social media was a blare this weekend with CS and Valorant majors and masters both going on. And left and right. In our Discord, on Twitter, everywhere you look, there's a tweet before this that he was replying to of the CS tournament is making Valorant look so bad. And then Min Lee, one of the creators of CS, was like, it's the best game, the same genre, built for different audience, right? My clutch or kick, I'm going to make this very simple. We just need to stop having these conversations. We are building a wall between these two communities, and we need to stop the arguments. Just stop the comparison. They're two different games for two different audiences, just like the creator said there. Just stop.
You had me at build a wall. Go ahead, Davis.
We need to tear down the wall. We need to tear down the wall. Stop building the wall, just to be clear.
You want to stop?
I'm clutching. I think it's very, very true. I think they're completely different games when you add abilities into the equation. They're always going to be compared just because the fact that you can shoot a gun and it's technically a attack shooter, but vastly, vastly different games.
Project A is a game that will be made on precise gunplay.
Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, I'll go. I'm clutching this. I've heard this conversation too much from Dota into League of Legends, and they are not the same game. They are the same genre, but they are completely different. And there's always been, oh, is Dota more hard because you have a lot of other mechanics and it should be more people watching it? It doesn't matter. They're two different games, so for two different audiences, as it said, they should just learn to enjoy esports. If they don't want to watch it, then don't worry about it.
Which one? I don't care. Doesn't hurt my feelings one bit.
Jesus.
That's why, because I told him it's not to build the wall.
Okay.
It's to tear down the wall.
These two games, League of Legends and Dota the same, and Counter-Strike and Valorant, were made to compete directly with each other. They have minute differences. The skills required to play them are almost identical, all right? And the argument is valid, but people just don't want to have the argument because I don't know. You haven't convinced me of why they're the same game. Everybody's going to compare them. I disagree completely. That's all I have to say. This is my TED Talk.
Okay.
Everyone's like,
That's a whole different conversation. It's way too long of a conversation to have right now.
They're like,
He
we
said,
have
I
20.
want to have the conversation, but I'm not going to have
We've got 20 seconds on the clock. You have to have the entire conversation.
And 20 seconds.
Okay, this is the last clutcher kick.
I
Whoever it
am,
is,
I
don't
am.
know. Go ahead, David.
And going back to like we talked about earlier, so it came out today officially. Kyosuke, however you say his name, is officially joining Team Falcons as of today. And so basically that's the topic we're debating. You have to choose if that is a clutch or a kick. For me, I personally am going with the kick. And I've seen a lot of people talking about how Kyosuke is very unproven.
That's a clutch sign.
Sorry. No. This is actually the right side. I said it wrong. Okay. I am clutching this. I am clutching this, not kicking it. Sorry.
Okay.
But I do think Kyosuke is very unproven on LAN. But the thing is, when you look at this team and you look at the point that it was in, a roster move has to have been made. Magix is the guy you look at. Magix has been on this team since December 2023, has won one trophy, which was earlier this year. They have been terrible since he joined. The team that he left, Vitality. What have they done? World domination. So I just think the vibes that Magix brought to this team, it was just the point where it had to be done. Like, you look at all your ex-teammates and they're on top of the world, winning everything. You're sitting here, can't win anything, but you guys are throwing money everywhere. I just think the project was destroyed and it was the time to move on from Magix. So I'm clutching it. I think it's a good move, even though he's unproven.
I'm with you, Davis. I think he's going to do well on that team. I think Magic is not great. And I think he at least has a very high ceiling. We don't really know, but I'm good. I'm willing to take the gamble. Go ahead, Nick.
Too soon. Too soon. That's it. It's just unproven.
Because he's unproven? Yeah, makes sense.
let me double check. We're clutching or kicking. Magic's being taken away, and they
No, Kyosuke has officially joined the team, and you're saying that is clutch or kick.
Yeah.
I'll clutch it.
There you
They
go.
need to change, and I don't think if they did it now or later would make any difference. They do it now, he gets more reps in before the end of the year, and hopefully by the end of the year, maybe they can finally get to the spot where their money is going to and trying to win everything.
That's the other side of it. I think it was outrageous that they paid $2 million for an academy player.
pocket change. It's about winning, sir. We don't care about that around here. We just want to see winners. We'll see. I don't know. I think you're right in the fact that he's unproven, but like Magic.
You got to remember, Donk was unproven too just a year ago.
Yeah.
Everybody said Donk was unproven.
What that guy said.
Now everybody says he's the GOAT. So go ahead and pay your money now, maybe $2 million, because next year you'd pay 10. So go ahead and pay it.
Go ahead and like the most chaotic clutcher kick ever created. Just push the like button for me so I can feel a little bit better. Okay, we're going to do our next section here is pick or ban. There will be winners, there will be losers, but not me because I'm the neutral party and I get to pick who wins and ultimately who loses, Davis. I'm watching you.
I'll be ready to go. I'm prepared.
He said loses Davis. Very close together.
Okay, first one is Chris. You get to ban one of these. What are we banning, Mr. Chris? If you look on the bottom here, it's got all the thingies.
Yeah, I'm banning the Mobile Legends Bang Bang scandal.
Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
We're keeping on the mobile hate train that was from last week as well.
We ban mobile games. We hate them around here, said Chris. Okay, that is great. Does anybody have a pen? Thank you, sir. Go ahead, give it to us. The next one, Davis. You get to ban something.
I'm banning out Death Stranding 2 pre-release leak.
You just hate the world, Davis. That's fine. -1. Davis.
Banning things I'm unfamiliar with.
Davis and Davis. -1. Okay, Nick. Pick. Go ahead.
I'm actually going to go to the Toronto Ultra 10K tournament. I think it flew under the radar, and it should have been a bigger scene. I know we obviously talked about it a little bit with the Gorilla mates in Rocker not performing as well as expected, and some of them even rage quitting out of the darn thing. But a great scene and a great thing. Like you said, it was probably done for sponsorship reasons, but great to see them having more tournaments and having challengers teams flourish. And grand finals went all the way Game 7, round 11. Couldn't have asked for a better grand finals.
That is a great grand finals. I agree. We love a round 11, Game 7. That's a great thing. Okay, Chris, you get to pick one and tell me about it.
Let's see the League of Legends LCK tournament favoritism. So I was trying to look up more about this, and I'm not sure if the post was deleted by the person because they probably got raged at by all the fans. But I did see some stuff on how a lot of people, the desks were favoring T1 from the LCK side, like casters and everything like that. But if we're also talking about recovery time, this is the whole point of having a higher seed when you're playing in a tournament. Obviously, they didn't do the traditional format, but if you're placing 1, 2, and 3, then you should have a easier time of getting to wherever you're getting, and that's the whole point. T1 also did not have the best looking 1 and 2 season. They came against a pretty hot KT Rolster who had won 6 maps in a row in games. They had to play against the number 1 team or the number 2 team from LCK, and then the number 1 team from First Stand, and ended up beating HLE a day after they played against KT Rolster. So they had a little less time to prep for HLE. So I'm trying to figure out where this is coming from. We all know that T1's good. There's a lot of T1 haters out there, and we've seen that through the majority of this year. And I think that a lot of people are upset that they're doing well right now.
Okay, -10 points. Who's next?
Oh, wow.
I'm next, and I'm going with the Halo Infinite LVT Pro League drama.
Nice.
I know we got some Halo guys in the office, and from my understanding of this, I think this has been a good middle ground for the people to meet. I know that the players were not originally very happy with the package or whatever that LVT had presented to them for a new season or whatever that they were willing to host for the teams of Halo. I think it's really cool. You know, another another league is available for you to play in. The players were not excited about playing in it, but now they're for it. So I think it's good for the scene.
+10 points for Davis. Okay, who's next? Nick, you get to ban something.
I don't know.
Okay, I am going to ban Overwatch 2's declining esports.
-10 points for Nick.
Oh, and Davis. He said Davis first. He said Davis first.
I'm just kidding. I'm making up points at this point. Okay, Chris, you get to pick something.
All right, let's do Dota 2 international qualifiers. Okay. So this is actually a fun read for me because I haven't been paying as much attention to the EU West, EU East. I've been paying attention more to the Asia and North American qualifiers for this. But they've been having... This has happened before where it's saying teams are participating with... They have regional rules, as well as like League of Legends and some others where you have to have a majority of those players from that region. They have a much bigger standing in EU East and EU West, where it's kind of more spread out. But now they're saying that the EU East teams just are we're packing some of the EU West regions, and that the EU West was using more EU East teams. And now they're just saying that the EU West teams just need to get better if these allegations are true or not. So it's pretty crazy going over there. Of course, these are leading to the road to TI, so these are some pretty big qualifiers for the teams, but it could knock out some, teams that are looking pretty good through their wins. Of course, I'll see like Navi, Secret here, VP. They'll have pretty good teams off of it, but I thought it was just funny that this has kind of been a consistent issue going on.
Good point. That's a good point. Plus 1,000 points for Chris.
Whoa. I'm going to the Apex Legends accusations at EWC qualifier because I think this is a big thing, and actually this is something we've talked about on the show a couple of times, is having qualifiers, open qualifiers for games, and this is a tremendous problem that you run into because you pretty much have to have these open qualifiers in online format for the majority of the time. Obviously, you have your one-off events or a couple of events where you can have in-person things, but majority of them are going to be online. And with online gaming, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, the technology just always one ups the other, and there will always be cheaters here. So stinks, but something you have to deal with, I guess.
Nick, take us home, buddy.
Esports World Cup prize pool has been announced. And not only for the games, but for the club championship as well. And I think this is massive for all the orgs that are going to be involved in sending teams over to Esports World Cup. The first place org takes home a whopping $4 million. That's insane.
Love that. Love $4 million. Okay. Oh, man, this one is closer. You guys, I hate to say this. Davis is our winner today. Oh my gosh, I wanted him to lose so bad, but he did such a good job banning the right stuff and picking the right stuff. The fans do not like that Davis has won, okay?
They're throwing stuff.
They're rioting in the streets. Oh, what a fun day. Thanks for joining us here today on Queued Up. It has been a fun episode. There's been a lot of cool news going on this past weekend, so it has been exciting to talk about all the things. But there's more coming. Guess what? We're going to do this same thing again on Thursday. We're going to be talking Call of Duty in a bigger way. We're going to look at those pick'ems. We're going to make sure that we have it all lined up so you can know who to bet on. I'm just kidding. Do not take gambling advice from us at all. But thanks for joining us here today on Queued Up. It's been another great episode, and we'll see you on Thursday.